Okay, well, unfortunately, in a set with a bunch of busted rares, we open this card. So we won't be taking that. But we did open a great uncommon, so that's nice. More Can't Loyalist. I really liked Elves. Elves and Merfolk are my two fave decks. I don't think there's a card that's very close to Loyalist. Yeah, and here's the key. I'm not just gonna be like, all right, I'm Elves now, right? I would like to be, but I just think it's so important to be flexible. I know it sounds like such like obvious draft advice, right? But I think as you get better at a drafter, you tend to be a little bit less flexible. Kind of sounds counterintuitive, but you can often kind of bully your way into a deck that plays your early picks, right? Your good rares. I think that there's aspects of that going on here too, but I really do feel like you get rewarded by picking up what other people are putting down. So I could take Sig's Command. That card is solid. Completely different deck. I could just take Prisma Basher, and I think that's what I'm going to do. Good finisher for Elves. Also, just a good card. I like most of the Vivid cards. Should you soft force Fish? I wouldn't. That's the thing. Like, I mean, if it's somewhat open, a good path to go down, sure. But I guess that's kind of what I'm getting at. Even though I love Merfolk, I'm not trying to force it here. I'm not trying to take Sig's Command here, you know? Okay. Now the best card in the pack is pretty clearly Recluse. I do not think there is something in the pack I can justify taking over Recluse. Prodigy's good too. And we could like take Prodigy and go down some sort of Vivid path, but Recluse is going to be better in that deck probably anyways. Not the Prodigy? No, Recluse is better than Prodigy, I believe. At least by a notch or two. I like this card, but Recluse is... Anytime you've got like 3 mana, bounce a thing with some stats, those cards are... Everybody knows they're good, but they're better than I think a lot of people think. Like, this is a A- level card for me. Eclipsed Elf, also very good. We're going to take that one. I could also see splashing Recluse. Like, if we've got this Prisma Basher, there's something to be said for that. This card's been more impressive than I thought, by the way. Kithkin are really short on ways to push damage at common. They need the uncommons to help them out. And this is one of the good ones. But yeah, my general rule in the early parts of the draft for this format is like, you see an Eclipse card, you take the Eclipse card. Requiting Hex is nice. I'm a fan of this card. I also like the Council. I think Council is playable even if you don't have Kithkin or Changelings, but, yeah. Just gonna take X. Yeah, Kithkin are really short, full stop. That is also a true statement. Alright, so currently, we're looking like this. When do you feel like you should take Changelings in draft? I mean, just like any card. Like, it depends on what you're talking about here. Specifics matter. There's no, like, you know, 4th or 5th pick, you should take Changelings. You should take Changelings when you care about creature types a lot, when you're trying to be flexible. Let's say you're trying to decide between, maybe I should be Elves, maybe I should be Goblins. Sure, take the... If there's no awesome card in the pack, take the flexible card. Awesome pick here, though. Safe rate's great. Do we like Hex? Yeah, I think Hex is pretty good. Think of it like a shock, right? It's a shock that can't kill, like, a 3-drop. Like, it can't kill Recluse, which is a downside. But it also doesn't get disrupted by a pump spell. It also gains life when you need it to, puts a counter on something when you need it to. No, Hex, yeah, it seems like people are underrating Hex. Dignitary is a great pickup, too. Yeah, Elves seems to be open. Wouldn't mind this Midnight Tilling, but... Oh my god. Yes, please! Eclipse Elf, get in the deck. Oh my god. Alright, I'm excited for this one. Tilling seems gas? I mean, Tilling's good, but Dignitary's better. Alright, I might play a Grove Guide. Alright, another thing I care about too much here. The Farmer's okay. Green on 3 is a little bit tough sometimes. Probably don't play it if I can help it, but it's good for the Prisma Basher. Ooh. Okay. Good 2-drop elf. Nice. Yeah, I think, basically, I think what happens, or it's what's happening right now, is people are treating the Eclipse cards as, like, rewards. Like, I'm in the elf deck. I get a late Eclipse. No. It's you take this first pick, you hope to draft elves. Could have had 2 Sig's commands. Alright, guess we just take Bog Slither's Embrace. I don't love the card. It's a solid removal spell. So I should say I don't love it in elves. I like it better in goblins, where you're doing light things. I thought it's generally not a good idea to take 2-color cards because it's committing. It's worth... Committing isn't the right way to think about it. You're taking on risk when you take a inflexible card, but when the card is powerful enough, it is worth the risk. That's the way to think about it, right? It's not... You should never take an inflexible card. It's if you take an inflexible card, you should do it because it's very good and you really hope to play it, right? Ooh, Abigail. Abigail's sick. I love this card. We'll take Abigail. 2 mana, 1/1, first strike flying lifelink that when it enters, you give all those abilities to something and lose all other abilities. Yeah, sick card. Generally, you're targeting your own stuff. Once in a while, in a weird spot, you might target a Lord effect or something from the opponent. Holy crap. Holy crap. Okay. Elf payoff found. Ding, 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 ding. Exactly. Now we really, really want the Changeling that fixes our mana. Oh my god. And another one, too. Yeah, like... For those of us who are in for Magic for just, like, the pure dopamine hits, I think that the nice thing about these sets, these creature-type sets, these tribal sets, is that sometimes you just get, like, the sickest hookup, right? And every pick of the draft, you're just like, whoa, what's happening here? Yeah, Dissonance great. Wouldn't mind a Fist, too. Yes, Dissonance is very good. Dissonance is a 1-drop that... You can just start casting things out of your grave, filtering you. Yeah, it's much better than it looks. Happy to take a 2/2 lifelink here. Oh my god. I should just stop being surprised. I know. I will say we are a little bit low on removal. We need to fill in that gap in our deck. Also fixing. Yeah, I'm just hooting and hollering over here. Take your free 7 wins. That's not how it works. That's never how it works. You gotta play the games. You also put unnecessary pressure on yourself when you draft a good deck and expect a trophy. You draft a good deck, you play your best. Okay. Tilling is a nice one. Yep, I would like to fill the grave. Shimmer Wild's Growth is a little bit of fixing, but it's fairly bad fixing unless you care a lot about Vivid. Like, I'm just not really into 2-mana ramp you know, no card draw, no little additional effect. It's not terrible or anything, but not the fixing I'm really looking for. I'd rather take Tilling. Adds more to the deck. Champion of the Weird. Yeah, I didn't point that card out, but it's cool. Do I still splash the Manowar? I might. Depends on if I pick up the fixing. Also depends on, like, I am enticed by it because I'm low on interaction. I'm not, like... If I pick up 3 pieces of fixing, I'm only going to play Marlin, right? Huh. That's interesting. There's also a Nameless Inversion. I think I take Nameless Inversion here. I like this card. I think it's pretty good. But Nameless Inversion is an elf. I need removal. I can get it back with Loyalists. Yeah, I'm not in need of ways to win top end. I'm in need of removal. And it's an elf. I'm not playing it safe. This isn't about playing it safe. I think this deck is like, it really, really wants this card, right? It's not like the, maybe I should play it safe. Be a good little boy, eat my vegetables. I think this is just going to be the much better card. Alright, sick. Why did I take Shimmer Wilds? I mentioned why. But if you didn't hear it, I don't like that card unless you're doing Vivid things. 2-mana ramp spell is just not good in Limited. You need to be like an over-the-top, like, I'm casting a bunch of excellent cards in my top end, splish splashing. Like, the Vivid deck is fine with it. But, like, sure, why not? just add it onto the pile here. But for most cases, there's so many better ways to fix. Look, I think we're kind of used to, if you've been playing Magic for a while, just 2-mana ramp spell, like Rampant Growth. They didn't give us that in Standard for a long time. Now they're giving it to us. And kind of might just be at the back of your head as like, that's a good card. I don't think it is in your average Limited deck. Wow. Spry Mighty's really good, but there's a third one. Third of Cope Self. We should probably just take that. Rampant Avatar Growth was amazing. It sounds like some revisionist history to me. If you look at the stats on 17 lands, it was not a very good card there. I also didn't like that card for what it's worth. So I would disagree with that statement. So if you think that card was great in Avatar, I can understand why it might look good here. I don't think it's good, though. I'm talking in your average draft that's just looking for a little bit of fixing. Again, if you're doing Vivid stuff, if you're like super multicolored, it's good. Gonna cut this farmer at this point. Right. If you needed the lesson, needed the playable. But I wouldn't call that card good. Yeah, Spry and Mighty. I should have hovered on that one for a while. That's a good card. I definitely underrated that one in the set review. It's pretty easy to make that card like +3/+3, draw 3 cards. Like +3/+3 to 2 things, draw 3 cards. This is gonna be the best deck I've drafted this format. It might be I ever draft, you know? This card is busted. Holy crap. Yeah, Kenny, look, I'm not trying to say, like, you're completely wrong, it's not good in some decks. I'm just talking average case scenario, right? Like, yeah, that's just, anyways, we need some fixing, but this deck's busted. We might not even play the Marlin at this point if we don't pick up the fixing. Anyways, probably going to be something we just agree to disagree on, I imagine. 4, sure. Why the hell not? Why the hell not, you know? Yeah, this deck is silly. Not close to Graveshifter? No, not close to Graveshifter. Or sorry, Graveshifter is not close to Elf. Elf is much better. Interesting. Kind of into this? Yeah, I think I'm gonna take it here. Yeah, unfortunately, it's the fixing we've seen. I'm just, like, not willing to play. I could take Shimmer Creep. Yeah, I know exactly. No bomb that pick. So unlucky. Oh, I mean, it is a little fixing. So I play this, and Island is just so bad in this deck is the problem. Because of all these Eclipsed Elves. I don't think I'm supposed to. I also don't think I'm playing anything here, though, so... Prisma Basher 2. Interesting. I think this card is pretty bad without, like, the Death Touch trick. Oh, tilling number 2. Might play that. Okay, so we did end up, like, slightly light on removal, but the nice thing is we're gonna see this Gloom Ripper, like, almost every game, I would imagine, with 4 Eclipsed Elves. Also, we can, like, buy it back with Loyalists, so... Also, yeah, we have Midnight Tilling too, so... Yeah, Nameless Inversion, yeah. It's kind of funny. Our lack of removal is... propped up. Like, it's not that bad because... Yeah, the cards that buy back our elves actually buy back our removal spells and find... Like, both of our great removal spells here, Inversion and Ripper. Elf finds. Okay, so I think I cut one of the Bashers at least. Keeping all the non-creatures. Yeah, I think I like the double Midnight Tilling. Yeah, I agree, cutting all the Vivid cards, just calling it a day, right? Sweet. This looks good. Hey there, how's it going? No, Marlon did not make the deck. Alright, Player Dissident. Mauler. I think I just killed the Mauler, and... should probably surveil one here. I'll just do it now. I think, like, I could get gotten by the hexproof blue thing. I don't think I need to upkeep surveil there, no. I'd rather them play out a little bit of their stuff and then decide what I want to find. Yeah, it's good enough. Been cleansed. I'll bottom that. Our deck has much better cards to dig to. Tilling, nice. Yeah, sure. I'll take one of these Eclipsed Elves. Hey, Master, coming with that sub. Appreciate ya. Ooh, Glenlender's Answer. Got me. Yeah, Gloom has been ripped. Okay, okay. Actually, I don't know if that's okay for them. Kind of seems better just to not bounce this. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Not worth killing to deny the token? No, I don't think at all. That seems pretty bad to me. Nice. Okay, so... Am I gonna nameless inversion Tristan? Post blocks. I think so. I could also do that next turn. Yeah. Denies both tokens? No. It doesn't. Spells will resolve as long as they have a target. Also not good to, like, use my... Like, it's not a good use of my removal spell. Oh, shoot, inversion doesn't kill it. Yeah. Okay, it's fine. We'll just let it trade. I forgot. It's not a -3, -3. It's a +3, -3. That's funny. Okay, we bash. Yeah, I could have used Bog Slither on Tristan. I think it's a little too aggressive. One of the things that with so many good rares running around, I think you really want to be conservative about your removal. Like, the rule of thumb I've been using is, unless you're gonna, like, you have a clear line to be like, get a blocker out of the way, hit you for a bunch, I'm setting up for lethal next turn. I just don't think you should use a removal spell in a spot like that. You should save it for the rares, you should save it for... Yeah, just spots where you're like, I see a very clear two-turn lethal. Do I have elves in the grave? Let me check. Oh, true. Yeah, I did miss lethal. At the inversion. My bad. Yeah. Very fair point. Very fair point. Well, that was fun. I'm sure for one of us. Nice. Dissident's dead. It's annoying too, because now I can't cast my... Oh, never mind, I can cast my Dignitary. Just like, rare. Probably finds me a rare. Like I said, is what I say. What's the strat for Tristan? You want to flip it along? Yeah, basically, like, it's not... The only reason you wouldn't want to flip it is if you're close to decking. And we're not really close to decking, so... Sort of want to kill the Mauler instead of the Noggle. Don't know how cute that is. They probs Trump anyways. You think so? It's probably true. It's probably true. Although, is there anything that would affect combat here? You know, maybe you want to let them make the mistake of taking 10. How about that? Okay. They took 10. That's a strong one. That actually... Yeah, it's pretty scary. We flip here, I think. Yeah, we want to be draining. Ooh, value. Okay, so what happens here? I get in with this, obviously. And then I just make a token. Do I Abigail to remove the abilities? I think giving this lifelink in first strike is worse than the ability that it naturally is being given. Oh, shoot. Sorry. I missed the point here. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. My bad, chat. My bad. Might matter, too, because Tristan drains in increments of 2. I'm kind of at the swing all point. Almost. Like, it depends what they have, right? Because if they have one removal spell, definitely not. It kills 2 things. Yeah. Okay, well, Tristan's dying anyways, it seems, so it wouldn't have mattered. Okay, great. Do I have some sort of lethal here? Yeah, I sure do. Oh, true. This card does not work with the copier. It doesn't have a single target. Of course, of course. Of course. Okay, great hand. Have a bunch of rares. Phenomenal. I cast a splashed kin binding today off of 2 treasures from Ashling's command. Don't think my opponent liked that. I mean, I'm sure the opponent didn't like the Ashling's command. Ooh, cool. Nice. Another rare. Okay, so... Yeah, I don't think I'm going to run out the Abigail here. Just want to save that for... something better. I want the abilities on this, and 1/1 flyer, not that exciting. Sweet. Do-do-do-do. Yoink. I guess I'd probably surveil 1 here, rather than get in for 1. There's also the 2/2 flash that they could have. Seems like a bad idea to attack into that. Nothing, 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 eh? What's going on with that? That is totally fine. It'll be back. It'll be back one way or the other. Like, it'll be back with the Dissident, or with the Loyalist, or the Bidding. Okay, so... yeah, let's just... Loyalist. And I think I do attack for 1 here. I could get another Surveil, but it seems like a bad idea. Because if they kill Loyalist, then my Dissident also dies. Got your first 3 at the pre-release thanks to my content. Awesome. That's awesome to hear. Congrats. Okay, they play a Rhyme Speaker. Solid card. I Probably should have upkeep surveilled here. No, I don't love that. Like I just said, I don't want to put another counter on here. Okay, let's just go midnight tilling and try to find a land. If I miss on a forest, it's a little unfortunate. But if I hit, it's great. We did actually miss here. Now what do we take? Kind of like just the scout and just set up for this this binding, right? Yeah, now I am pretty fine with just surveilling to try to hit a land. Black. Interesting. Hero, also interesting. My mind has been noggled, and now that dies. Unfortunate. Okay, that goes to the bin. Still no lands, eh? Okay. Well, kind of okay still. We'll play Tristan, fill the bin, and pass here. All right, they draw 2 effectively. Oh, no, more. More because this, right? That's kind of sick. Land. There we go. No flip. Seems like a good turn just to cast this and bash for a bunch. They have travelers too. Let's just kill this thing. Yeah, it's like a ton. I didn't even realize how much damage it was actually. I didn't count. I was like, oh, okay, sure. You go to 3. Okay, yeah. Requiting Hex has not been doing well in the stats. Yeah, I think even in the draft of this this deck, which I was doing yesterday, so I don't quite remember if that's where I was talking about it. For the YouTube viewers, this is a two-parter. Yeah, I was kind of comparing it to a shock. I do think it's still like, equivalent to a shock. But shock in this set where it's pretty grindy, I think just wouldn't be all that good. Like, obviously we have the 1 mana deal 2, but that can be kicked to deal 4. That is lethal. Just with the eulogist. Can I cast bidding and just do some over-the-top cool stuff? I mean, I could. I could do that. It's probably just right to kill them, though, not play with our food. But yeah, like, the set is fairly grindy, so the expensive cards are more defining than the cheap cards in this set. Yeah, that was quite the game. Opponent looked like they were set up to do some cool stuff, though. Like, if I didn't kill them, that's always the hook, right? If I didn't kill them, they would have gone off. Okay. Kind of hard to have a bad hand with this deck, to be honest. Just like, over half of our cards are great. Flame Braider. Okay, that is super scary. Flame Braider is a banger. So, let's just elf. Try to hit a land here. Alright. So now what do we do? Could go double 2 drop. That seems pretty good. Just, Abigail, send the elf to the sky. Behold, look at my elf. One thing that is nice about this set, the stats are kind of bearing this out, but I kind of had an inkling of this as well, is that my whole, I have such hesitation. I always spiel about the 4 mana no enter the battlefield effect expensive cards. I think they've juiced quite a few of them, enough where it's like, okay, still got that issue of if this gets gotten by 2 mana removal spell, sure, you suffer a tempo loss, but man, is it good when you untap. Rhyme Speaker is like not one of the better versions of that, but it's definitely playable. I'm thinking like the big trampoly elf that gets +X+X, where X is the number of creatures in your grave in the battlefield. The blue-red elemental, that definitely counts. Okay, so we'll start with casting this. Let's go green. Gloom Ripper. Come on down, my friends. Rip some gloom with me. I wonder how much I care about killing this Flame Breeder. Might just be better. Does severely limit their options next turn. Getting Tristan in play is nice, especially with the Ripper. 1, 2... If I draw a land, I can do both. My gut says I'm supposed to do this. This might be a little too conservative, though. Yeah, this is the nutty black-green deck that I drafted yesterday. In this situation at turn 3, okay, sorry, I missed this comment. It was a few turns ago. I would have at least thought about playing a Mana Dork to skyrocket my mana. Any thoughts about that? What do you mean? Maybe, yeah, it's probably, the context is probably lost because it was so far back, but, yeah, not exactly sure what you mean. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna play Tristan here. Could also just play my 5-drop. Oh, I see what you're saying. I played Eclipse Elf instead of the Dignitary. Is that it? Great. I play my worst card into it. That works out. Yeah, to be honest, maybe I don't remember the exact... Oh, that's kind of cool. I don't remember the exact scenario, so... I actually, you know what I'll do after this game? I'll just go back and check on 17 lands, because it sounds like a question worth answering, that I'm not sure if I even made the right play. Do you have any big picture thoughts about the format yet? Yeah, a ton. I'm very excited to record the State of the Format episode tomorrow. And definitely sparking joy. Yeah, I'm having a ton of fun with this set. I think I like this set more than Avatar, and I liked Avatar a lot. I'm not quite sure if I like it more than Final Fantasy just yet, but it's up there. I feel like I'm not smart enough to handle all these huge boards. Yeah, like, no shade, honestly. Like, this is a complex format. It's a complex onboard format. Okay. It's also... Where did they hit that and not, like, the Dignitary? I also think the drafts are pretty complex. There's so much to balance. Like, with Avatar, sure, there are synergies and stuff, but a lot of it was kind of like, all right. Well, let's go tilling first, of course. I see good cards in the pack. I take the good cards, you know? I think with this set, it's a lot less like that. I think you care a lot more about... Number one, synergies I think are a little more important. And number two... What punishes me here? Noggle the Mind. Run away together. I think I'm just going to do this. Force them to have an interaction spell here. They probably do. They cast this and nothing else. Maybe not, though. We'll see. Okay, that's fine. A trade. We gain a ton of life. Sorry, back to the draft thought. Back to that draft thought. Oh, so it's not even a trade. First strike, of course. It's pretty tricky to figure out if you're supposed to stay in your lane or speculate or diverge, or are you supposed to be super focused in one deck, or are you supposed to branch out and be less of a creature type matters deck? Which is sweet, like for the long-term health and interest of the format, that's awesome. But it can be a little bit tricky just to learn the format. Sure. You know, when I or anybody else says the format is this, right? The format is grindy. The format is fast. We're always talking about averages. You're always gonna have those games where you get run over, or the opponent has that Kithkin start, of course. Yeah. Killing my Ripper. Alright, he'll be back. Oh god. Yikes. Yikes. This deck. Yeah, so we're gonna kill the Cinder here. I guess if they have Ashling's Command, the game is not just over. We will be left with the Dignitary and 2 Loyalist triggers, so I ain't too sad about it. But still, you know. And of course, this Tristan in hand that might just drain them out. Okay. Okay. Very nice, very nice. But yeah, some other interesting things about this format. One of the things about Avatar is when we did the set review, whenever we do a set review, those are always initial impressions. We're making educated guesses based on past context of, like, these cards that we've seen before kind of look similar to the cards that they printed in this set. We're assuming they're going to perform about the same. You know, context matters and all that, and we want to figure out context beforehand if we can. But things get shaken up once you play and you see how the cards interact. With Avatar, I think that was actually the set where there were the least surprising number of things. Like, a lot of the stuff that we thought about Avatar was just kind of right. Not to toot my own horn or anything. There were some surprises, of course, but not honestly a ton. Let's go Dignitary here, and maybe we spike off this Informant next turn. With this set, though, there's been quite a few surprises, which has been cool. Oh, they miss. Yeah, yikes. Okay. So, yeah, if we hit an elf on the top, we have to double spell. I don't think I should try to do that, though. Let's just do this. Grab land? I have 4 lands in it. Yeah, you know what? Let's just take this Dissident. Looks like they had the Flash Changeling here. They had a spell they could cast but did not want to cast. Could be the hexproof trick thing. Okay, bounce my mana dork. Good play, good play. Ooh, bidding. Yeah, let's scout. Scout and then Dignitary, and then we just have like a ton of mana next turn. I mean, if I hit, I could miss. All right, I missed, but we'll trade if they'll let us. And they do, and they do. Behold, look at my elf. I love doing that. I love just being like, behold. Such a funny mechanic. Yes, this is the deck from yesterday. Is Dissident a bomb? Not a bomb, but it's a really solid creature. Like, above average, better than pretty much all the commons. Like, about as good as a good uncommon is the way I would look at it. Ooh, nasty. Okay. So yeah, when this enters or attacks, they get to tap something and put a stun counter on it. Want to keep hitting my lands, so let's do that the best we can here. Don't think I need that land, though. Yeah, this is just going to be sick, right? Like, get down Eulogists, get down Dissidents. Get the bidding. Bidding doesn't look great right now, but, you know, we're going to be filling the yard. Yeah, we'll take 4. Can you say why you chose land instead of another Eclipse Elf when you look at the top 4 cards? Yeah, because tempo matters. I mean, the other Eclipse Elf can grab another elf, of course, but I've got so much action in my hand, right? I don't really think I need another Eclipse Elf. What I need is just to hit my land drop so I can cast all the cards in my hand. Oh god, yeah, Dissident removing stun counters. That is pretty funny. That is pretty funny. I didn't think about that. Okay, so do I want to kill this? Not in particular. I guess I could. They bring back the bounce creature. I don't think I mind too much. Let's just jam. I always feel greedy and take the creature. Yeah, I mean, I would just recommend not being greedy in that way all the time. I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong. It's good to keep chaining value. If the thing you need is value, right? If the thing you need is action, I will probably want to win this interaction. Because then they bring back this, and that's not good for me. So yeah, if the thing you need is value, like, as in cards to cast, or I'm being very magic lingo-y here. If the thing you need is impactful cards, absolutely. You should take a land. But if the thing you need is... Oh, sorry, the opposite way. If you need impactful cards, you shouldn't take a land. But if you have impactful cards, you don't need to take another spell. You just take a land. That was so confusing, but I hope you get what I'm saying. Words, words, words. Farewell. Nice. Yeah, good stabilizing play. So I like attacking with both and playing Eulogist and Lifelinker, I think. Abigail. Abigail's probably good enough. Oh, for me to mill. Duh, sorry, I did this in the wrong order. Oopsie. Alright, in any case. We're just gonna do this in bidding next turn. Unless there's like a clear option to just kill them with Ripper. Like, just to go back to the why take a land with the Eclipse Elf, if you, like, I can't run the simulation to give you the exact, like, outcome of what the game would look like. But I think if you just went through each turn, and I'm, like, down one land, I think this game looks much different. I would be a lot, in a much worse place. Maybe not a much worse place, but I think a worse place. Like, I would be able to cast the Eclipse Elf the next turn, grab a land, but then I wouldn't be able to cast whatever I cast on that turn instead, you know? I should have stuck to my guns with the C+ bidding in the set view. Yeah, that's where it ended up, kinda, I think. Ooh, Disruptor. Okay, their deck looks kinda nice, too. So they're gonna attack, tap down this Eulogist. Yeah, cannot block, because I need it to Convoke. I mean, is it even that good here? I guess it's not, right? Like, I get back Tristan, Lizalana, and Eclipse Elf? Yeah, I should probably just play out my other stuff here instead. Wait, I'm silly. I can kill them. Yeah, I forgot my Creature Red Menace for a sec. We're good. Sure, yeah, I guess if they had... No, the Convoke spell still wouldn't do it, right? Because they would only have two things. I'm killing something before combat. The destroy target attacker or blocker. Yeah, Gloom Ripper is just Pyrogoyf. That's a decent comp, honestly. At first I thought Gloom Ripper was close to Mono with Circuit Feeder, but I can see how they're different now. Honestly, the biggest difference, I think, is shaving off a mana. Like, shaving off a mana from a card, from any card, is gonna really change how it plays. Or just how strong it is. I think sometimes people don't realize just how much one mana is, right? It's so much. Okay, first striker, so I can hex it and get in and play Tilling. That seems pretty good. Right, and accounting Graves, of course. Like, that's the other thing. The fact that it counts, like, it's easier to get a bigger count on that card than it was with Circuit Feeder. Yeah, that's huge. I think I'm probably okay taking Gloom Ripper, though there is some thought to taking the Eclipse Elf just to hit my lands or find other stuff. But I've got a 3 in a removal spell. I don't think I should be too worried about getting to 5 eventually. Okay, Mentor, revealing Disruptor of Currents. Alright, I got my Eclipse Stealth anyways. Let's bash. Any trades for me are pretty good, because it takes away from their Convoke ability. And yeah, another spot I definitely just want to hit a land. Yoink. Eclipsed Kithkin. Hit a land. Well, this guide, I kind of wanted to play this guide, but it looks real bad in the face of this Disruptor. So, I could play, like, Tristan namelessly invert the Kithkin, and then they're forced to trade with the Shield Bearer. Oh, I guess a little interesting wrinkle is they don't actually have double blue if I take away this Merfolk. I don't think that's what I want to do, but it is sort of interesting. I could just Gloom Ripper. Yeah, that is also true. That's not a bad play. Let's get my 4/4 in play. Hey, you know what? I'm a fan. I'm a fan of just casting my Busto A+ card, you know? I do think I still kill... Well, this versus this... I think I should probably take more power and toughness on the board rather than maybe cut them off a blue source, but... I think the thing is, it's not like this is so bad for me here. Like, obviously, they don't want to bounce the Ripper, but, I don't have to cast this guide next turn. I can cast Tristan. Alright, Marrow, nice. Their deck looks quite good. Fine Island, makes sense. Alright, bash. Deal 4? Oh, sure. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I think I will cast this here, just use all my mana. If they want to spend the turn, like, bouncing this, so be it. It's not like a giant tempo swing. I'm only taking a little bit of damage. If they, like, Convoke a bunch and then play this, like, cast, like, a Token Maker, yeah, it's a little more annoying, but still fine. Ooh, Willow. Okay. Yeah, they got some good stuff to get back with Willow. Let's send. They'll flash in, I imagine. They don't. Okay. Probably getting back Eclipse Kithkin, I would guess. Oh no, my bidding! Would like that. Yeah, a little surprised they didn't bounce the guide. Seems like a pretty decent target. Maybe they're just cool taking 5 and then deciding after. Okay. Curious about these decks that are a mix of the major creature types. When drafting, my brain is scared of not getting 10 of the same creature type. It depends on your payoffs, right? Like, if you've got a lot of the same creature type payoffs, yeah, you want to narrow in, right? If you don't, then there's not really a reason to. Hey, Genesis, how you doing? Yeah, drafting this format is hard. I agree. I agree. Tristan is going to be a little dicey at this point. I have 17 cards in my deck. Also have like a Dawnhand Eulogist that mills me. Find a Thoughtwith Viewer. Okay, that's pretty annoying with the Willow. So it's gonna be a 5 lifelinker, yeah. Like, their deck is a mix of Merfolk and Kithkin, but can Merfolk do much without a big team of Merfolk? Yeah, for sure, for sure. Merfolk doesn't need Merfolk unless it has, like, there are cards that call out Merfolk, but then there are just cards that say, when you have a big board, you get to, you know, convoke or whatever. If your payoffs for your Merfolk deck is just convoking rather than specifically Merfolk payoffs, let's get in here, I suppose. Then, like, nothing wrong with not having a lot of Merfolk, right? What are my thoughts? Oh, I really like Thoughtweft Imbuer. Yeah, I think this card is pretty good. Much better than I thought before playing with it. One of my thoughts about having a big butt is as a new form of protection. I mean, yeah, definitely. Like, there are a lot of big butts in this set that are kind of hard to kill sometimes. Not feeling great about this game, honestly. Their board is much better. Oh, hell yeah. Their board is much better. And, well, that actually might have swung it. I was going to say, I don't have a lot of great draws. Spiral, sure, okay. Can still drain with Tristan, if I want this turn. Yeah, that attack makes more sense. Land. Okay, I think I do have to drain. Exiling Lizalana. I don't think it matters too much. Then we attack still, because we don't have a good block. They also get to sack their Spiral, get another thing back from the graveyard. Okay, one of the better draws. I can't afford to flip anymore. But we're still attacking for a decent amount. Oh, sure. Willow needs 2 counters. My bad. Yeah, that'd be busto. It was just 1. Am I blocking with this Loyalist this turn? I get back Gloomy Dude? Objective response. Okay, sure. Gloom Ripper? Probably. Ooh, yeah, one of my draws is Midnight Tilling as well, so that's not good. I do have Dawnhand Dissident. That's a great draw. My deck is 8 cards, 5 spells, I think. Keep out. Sure. That's fine. Yeah, there's the tilling. Decline. Fairy Macabre from the bonus sheet? Yeah, that'd be really funny. How many mill cards is too many mill cards for elves? I don't know exactly if I would think about it that way. I mean, there's a limit, right? But you're very rarely going to, in your deck build, get to that number. I wouldn't play like 4 Midnight Tillings or whatever. It's more of a gameplay thing where like you build your deck, because most games, you build your deck just like playing the cards you think you should play, not worrying too much about it. Because most games won't come down to decking. And then the ones that do come down to decking, you have to play a little bit differently. That's all. You don't want to build your deck for a situation that's not going to come up in the majority of the games. Would love to draw Abigail. That's probably my best draw. Hi, Clarm. How's it going? Alright, take 4. Abigail. It's not Abigail, but it's good. Might be a little too slow. Yeah, because I do need to find Abigail this turn, I guess. The Shine Striker's attacking me for 6 now? Yeah, I gotta find Abby. Oh, okay, never mind. We die. Like, not literally dead, but pretty close. So I guess if I find Abigail, I can Dissident, next turn cast. Yeah, nothing that matters. Oh yeah, we're very dead. We'll just scoop. Yo, Charlie, in the house. How's it going? I'm good. How are you, my friend? Busted Elf deck gets beaten by medium Merfolk? No, that deck was good. That deck was really good. They had multiple Eclipse cards. They had good Merfolk rare, 2 good Merfolk rares. They had the Willow, which is a strong card. They had double Shine Striker, strong cards. Nomad. Okay. Ooh, nice. Dissonant. Okay. Would have been nice to draw Swamp there. I could fish for one, but at this point I don't want to grab a land with my Eclipse Elf. Sorry, I guess playing the Lord isn't even that good because it still doesn't have a clean attack, so it's fine. I'm just gonna go Eclipse Elf into Dissident. And that's just a good play. But yeah, once again, would be good to get a black source now. We're stuck single spelling until we find one. Hey, we have Shadow. How you doing? Could surveil and upkeep. Yep, that's true. Probably good to do that. I agree. Opponent reading an enormous amount of text, yeah. Take it. Champion of the Shoal. Alright. Blight 1. Tristan. So I can Tristan and exile something. It's pretty good. It's probably good enough. Or I could just Tristan and safe, right? Like, I don't need to kill this champion right now. That's probably a little better. Ooh, Dissonant also real sick with safe, right? I think I should upkeep Surveil again, because being able to play double Loyalist is really good. Okay. So they tap 2 things of mine. Oh, okay. Okay, never mind. It's not that good. Alright. Leaves us in a pretty good spot. That was good too. That probably finds the other black source. And if it doesn't, alright, rip me. It did. Sick. And just attack for millions. Hey, Dane, how's it going? One little thought about this set and like how it relates to the 17 lands and stats and all. You know, different people will have different levels of sheer belief in what the numbers say on 17 lands. Or sorry, that's not the way to put it. Different people will draft based on like strictly based on stats versus not, depending on who they are, their experience as a Magic player, their data, their skills as a Magic player, how much they feel like they'll gain from data versus their intuition, all that kind of stuff, right? I'm usually pretty far on the side of like, the data tells most of the story, maybe 70 to 80% of the story, but there's a lot to gain in that 20 to 30%, right? Just like understanding how synergies work and why you might want certain cards. Rough numbers, of course, right? Maybe it's more closer to 60%, but whatever. This set, I think, is pretty far on the side of like, you really have to understand what you care about. There are a lot of cards that ask you to draft in a certain way, or little synergies that want card A over card B. Alright, so they're double tapping here. No, they're just single tapping. This is fine. I guess I could flip. Yeah, we're gonna flip here. I was gonna say I can flip and cast Eclipse Elf, or land, hit Eclipse Elf. But I can also probably just kill them here. Right, like 3 things. They're at 6. I guess if they have a removal spell, it doesn't just kill them straight up. What's in my deck? Still. No elf, like, I majorly want to grab, so I think this is fine. Just grab a land here. Oh, I missed. Unfortunate. Okay, well. Serves me right. Now do I just get rid of Kirill? Give me a pod where you get 3 on-color Eclipse creatures. Yeah, this was a like, silly draft. Yeah, like, trust, this has not been my average experience. Oh, hey, Jake, how's it going? Like, this, I would classify this deck as a bad constructed deck, you know? Swat away. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. I'll keep on top, but definitely good. Any monocolor deck so far? A few. Like, not true monocolor, no, but the kind where you've got, like, 3 of your secondary color. So, like, very heavily slanted towards one direction. Usually because I've got a lot of the hybrid cards and maybe some Vivid payoffs. Like, monocolored Vivid is actually kind of an interesting space to be in, right? Okay, that's a good play. Do I still just kill them, though? Let's see. So I want to flip. I don't think so. I want to cast my 2 Loyalists. They're dead to flip plus the Eulogist. Next turn, right? And the Willow can gain them some life if they send that in. Might just still be better to make that play, though, like you said. Or like you're suggesting. I like getting the Lords down. Oh, let's get the Menace creature down. I like this a little better. Gain a little life. Mill some cards. Play the Eulogist. Mill some cards. They're forced to block here, but I don't think I want to do that. Right, they were dead if I drew a land, I think. Okay, so now they're dead to the Tristan flip, which means they have to attack with the Willow. It's a forced attack. Or kill Tristan, you know, that works too. Oh, Sig. Okay. Yeah, they realize it's a forced attack. And let's just take this. I guess I could kill the Willow. Like, what does this look like? That looks pretty good. Doesn't really get blown out by much. pretty sure I'm winning this game if it goes on like 3 more turns, so... Okay, so we flip. And play 2 Loyalists. It'll be my last flip of the game. Definitely can't do it again, but... Flipping here doesn't accomplish that much. I mean, he drains them for 2, or dings them for 2. Like, that's something, right? I still have to block everything. Sure, yeah, so maybe there's an argument for just saying, like, I'm more likely to lose this game if it somehow goes on for 2 more turns than I am them being a +2 life or something. I can see that. All right. Nope. Decline. I very nearly auto-paid. Nice. Okay. Continue your lecture about 17 lands and how people will use it for this set. Yeah, like all I'm saying is, like, you'll... If you're just in the limited online spaces, you'll hear different people be like, some people are like, 17 lands is trash, you should never read it, like, the data's coming from bad players, like, I think that's taking it too far, you know? I understand where they're coming from, but that's taking it too far. There is a certain level of, even if you put a bunch of bad players in a pool, I'm not talking like brand new players. I'm talking like they know something about Magic, and that's what 17 lands users will be, right? Like, people who sign up for 17 lands are not brand new Magic players. There will be relevant data that matters, right? And then the other side of the spectrum, where you don't hear this as much, but there's some people who are like, you know, the data is the end of the story, right? And I don't think really anybody argues that side of the aisle as harshly or as vigorously. Usually it's more like, trust the data at 90% and that'll get you there 90% of the way. As often is the case with most things in life, and especially with Magic, the answer lies somewhere in between. And Sam Black's actually talked about this. Different sets, you should rely on the data or kind of draft based on the data, what it's kind of implying, more or less, based on synergy, generally. The more synergistic the set is, the less the data is just going to be like, yep, just draft by numbers, that'll make sense, right? The more kind of vanilla core set-y it is, the more it's just like, yep, you can kind of just trust the numbers, and the numbers are going to be, it'll lead you to a good deck 9 out of 10 times, right? That's kind of the way to look at it. In this set, though, super synergy-based, like I was talking, you have shifting values for all your cards, you care about different cards in different places. Yeah, they call it green on this, what the heck, I didn't even realize that. Different places in the draft will have you caring about different things, and so, you know, data's still relevant. It's never not going to be relevant, but you just can't paint by numbers the same way as you could maybe in some other sets, is kind of the idea. Let's send and then double Eclipse Elf. Okay, they didn't block, so we'll just, you'll just instead. Yeah, Zelda, I think that's true no matter what side of the argument you are on. Good stats equals good cards, but bad stats don't equal bad cards always, because it's very difficult for a bad card to be like, hey, it's randomly doing well in the stats. Like, that just doesn't really happen outside of, like, extreme weird corner cases. But, like, yeah, you can easily misapply a good card. Speaking of good cards, this card's good. This card's good. This is one, I was talking about cards I was wrong about in the set review. This card is good. It's a problem. The games go pretty long. You're gonna draw quite a few cards off this often. You should put this card in your deck. You should put this card in your deck. You gotta have, you know, like, what, 12 creatures or so, maybe even more than that to really make it good, but strong card. Okay, let's Eclipse Elf as our first play, I think. And just go from there. Nice. Right, if this didn't trigger on enter, it'd be a lot worse, for sure, for sure. The enter trigger is a big deal. Right, so yeah, just going back to the 17 lands thing, for sure. Like, if you're trying to learn this set, go to 17 lands, look at the top performing cards. That's gonna do a lot of good for you. That's gonna put you in the right direction, right? But once you actually get into the drafts, it kind of changes, right? Because of how much your draft might be different draft in, draft out based on what rares you open, what uncommons you get past, what your deck cares about. You know, I keep saying what your deck cares about, and there's a lot of things in this set your deck could care about. Could care about specifically elf creature type. It could care about the graveyard, but maybe not elves that much. That doesn't happen so much. More of a merfolk thing, where it's like, I've had blue-white decks that don't care that much about merfolk, but care a lot about convoke. You care about Vivid in your blue-white deck, right? So it's, yeah, just so many different things. Cool set. Like, that's great set design, in my opinion. Oh yeah, Mega, just go command tier list in the chat, and you'll find it. Here, I'll do it for you. Yes, if you're just tuning in, this deck is indeed insane. Oh, silly me. Silly me. I did this in the wrong order. Or tapped, I should have tapped the Dignitary. How do I feel about the 4-2 Flash? Unfortunately, I don't like it very much. I love me an up dog, but, you know. Alright, more can't's good. Let's just slither and play some stuff. Hey, Steve, coming in with that raid. Appreciate ya. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Eh. Doing better than your limited scales, that's for sure. I mean, hey, I will take that as a win, you know? If life's good, life's good. Sick. Okay, so let's just marvel at this deck. Just take a second to appreciate it. Like, usually when we do these breakdowns, it's kind of like, what can we take away from this and have our next drafts be all that much better? Not as much to talk about when your deck is all full of busted cards, but I think maybe a thing or two. So, Bloodline Bidding. We didn't cast it all that much, but it was really good when we had it. Makes sense. Sorry, this is kind of the home for it, so keep an eye out for that one. Requiting Hex, yeah, I've come down on this card a little bit for sure. And I think that's kind of it. Yeah, it's a week 1 deck. What do you expect? Like, Yeah, this is the, like many people in chat have been saying, like, this is the one where you walk into the streamer playing this deck and be like, how did you get into this pod? It doesn't happen all the time, trust me. But